The stage was set for what was supposed to be another routine takedown. The studio buzzed with quiet tension as the cameras rolled, the city skyline glowing through the glass windows behind the set. All eyes were on the stage, where Grayson Holt, a prominent liberal TV host known for his sharp monologues and viral takedowns, sat across from Karoline Leavitt, a young conservative commentator. The panelists flanking Grayson exchanged knowing smirks, anticipating the spectacle about to unfold. Grayson, confident and smug, leaned back in his chair, ready to deliver his usual performance. But what followed was anything but routine. Grayson began with his trademark sarcasm, dragging out Karoline's name as if indulging a student who had given the wrong answer. "All right, Karoline," he started, his tone dripping with condescension. "Let's cut through the fluff. You're young, ambitious, and somehow convinced that the Republican Party isn't just a retirement club with better tax breaks. Tell me, are you here to defend outdated policies, or are you just auditioning for a Fox News primetime slot?" The panel chuckled, clearly enjoying this setup. Grayson continued, mocking conservative talking points and dismissing Karoline as just another token figure in the GOP. But Karoline didn't flinch. She sat composed, her hands clasped on the desk, listening intently. When Grayson paused, expecting her to stumble or get defensive, she simply asked, "Is that a serious question?" Her calm demeanor threw him off, but he pressed on, doubling down on his attacks. "I mean, let's be real," he said, adjusting his blazer. "Conservatives love parading people like you around, fresh face, camera ready, but at the end of the day, it's the same script: tax cuts, personal responsibility, and some vague nostalgia about the good old days. It's predictable. The only question is, are you in on the joke?" The panel laughed again, but Karoline remained unshaken. She tilted her head slightly, her expression unreadable, and let the moment hang in the air. Then, she leaned forward, her eyes locked on Grayson's, and delivered a response that would leave him and the entire panel speechless. "See, Grayson," she began, her voice steady and calm, "this is what you do. You set people up with smug little sound bites, get your panel to laugh, and then expect your guest to stumble, get defensive, or shrink. And usually it works. But here's the problem. You didn't do your homework on me." Grayson tried to interject with a dry laugh, but Karoline cut him off. "No, you didn't," she continued. "Because if you had, you'd know I don't fold, and I certainly don't let people like you define me." The room fell silent. Grayson, for the first time, looked unsure. Karoline didn't stop. "You call me a token, a puppet. You act like I have no agency, no original thoughts, like I'm just here to regurgitate talking points. But here's the irony. You're the one sticking to a script. You came in here with the same tired attacks, the same predictable insults, because that's all you know how to do. Mock, dismiss, belittle. And yet, I'm the one who's supposed to lack originality?" The tension in the room was palpable. Grayson, visibly uncomfortable, tried to regain control with a weak joke, but it fell flat. The panelists, who had been laughing earlier, now shifted uncomfortably in their seats. The show cut to commercial, not because it was planned, but because someone in the control room panicked. The moment the broadcast went dark, social media exploded. Clips of Karoline's response spread like wildfire, racking up millions of views within hours. People couldn't stop talking about it. "Holy, Karoline just destroyed Grayson Holt on live TV," one tweet read. "They literally had to cut to commercial. This was a massacre." Liberal commentators scrambled to downplay the moment, but it was no use. The clip spoke for itself. Grayson's usual supporters were silent, while his critics piled on. Memes flooded the internet, and late-night comedians couldn't resist mocking his stunned silence. "This is the look of a man realizing his entire personality is collapsing in real time," one host joked, pausing the clip on Grayson's face. The audience roared with laughter. Meanwhile, Karoline didn't gloat or engage in the drama. She simply posted a single tweet. Let people say what they want. The truth always speaks for itself. The simplicity of it made it hit even harder. By the next morning, the narrative had shifted entirely. Karoline was no longer just a young Republican trying to make a name for herself. She was the woman who walked into a hostile room and walked out untouchable. Invitations for interviews, speaking engagements, and even a rumored book deal started pouring in. For Grayson, the fallout was brutal. His show's ratings spiked, but not in a good way. People were tuning in to see if he'd mess up again. The network, nervous about the damage to his reputation, scheduled emergency meetings. A senior producer, one of his biggest supporters, stepped down. Grayson's career wasn't over, but it was forever changed. The confidence he once carried wouldn't hit the same. His audience had seen him struggle, his critics had seen him exposed, and the illusion of his invincibility was shattered. The real lesson of this moment wasn't just about a viral takedown. It was about authenticity versus performance. Grayson Holt had built his career on mockery and scripted takedowns, but Karoline Leavitt won by staying calm, calling out the game he was playing, and refusing to let him define her. She didn't win by yelling louder or out-insulting him. She won by staying true to herself and taking control of the moment. This wasn't just a victory for Karoline. It was a shift in the way people viewed modern media. It was a reminder that authenticity beats performance, and that underestimating your opponent can backfire spectacularly. Grayson Holt's career may recover, but the impact of this moment will linger. As for Karoline, she didn't just win a debate. She changed the game. What do you think? Was this a strategic takedown by Karoline, or was it pure confidence in action? And what does this say about modern media? Let us know in the comments, and if you want more stories like this, subscribe, because trust me, there's more to uncover.